Alright, so I'm going to attempt to make a turkey pot pie. We're going to start off by making a cream sauce for everything. Basically, it's just a bechamel. Start off with a 1/4 cup of butter, then add a 1/4 cup of flour, and then a couple cups of milk just to kind of get nice and thick. We'll get back. Alright, so we're going to keep stirring around the flour and butter until it turns into this here. You want to cook until it stops smelling like raw flour. Should take a few minutes. It should start smelling kind of like nutty. And looks like it's getting pretty close there, so we're just going to add some milk to it. I'm going to start off with, I got 2 cups in here, but we'll see how it goes. As far as the milk, so I'm going to add it slowly. As soon as you add it in there, it's going to start turning into kind of like a paste. That's normal. You keep slowly adding milk. And every time you add some more, it should kind of turn into like a paste, which is normal. When you start getting towards the end of it and you add enough liquid, it would just be like a kind of like a thick, almost gravy kind of thing. And we'll get back once it's almost done. Alright, so this is the consistency we want from the bechamel. I'm going to throw a couple bay leaves in there, and then we're also going to grate some nutmeg. Give some salt and pepper as well. We'll need a lot, just a little bit. This will do about a teaspoon of salt and some pepper. And we'll let that simmer for about 10-15 minutes. Alright, so we're back. The bechamel is all done. I'm just going to use that shredded turkey I had. Looks to be like 2 to 3 cups of shredded turkey meat. You can use more or less. You can use chicken if you want, if you have leftover rotisserie chicken. Or you can just go all veggie. It doesn't really matter that much. Just gotta mix it all together. Into that we'll add about probably say a cup of frozen mixed veggies. A little more than a cup. So we're just going to mix all this together until it's well combined, and then we'll throw it into our casserole dish. Mommy? So for the turkey pot pie, we're going to do a drop biscuit topping. I tend to like that over a pastry crust. So in here I have 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Let's give that a quick mix together, and then we'll cut in about 6 tablespoons of butter. And what we're going to do is essentially, when we get the butter in there, I'll use 2 little knives. We'll keep cutting it into there until it gets like coarse, like pea-sized bits in there, and then after that we'll throw milk just to mix it, to combine it. So if you had a pastry cutter, this would be a lot easier to do. I'm just using 2 butter knives. I already did most of the work, so as you can see, most of these are about, pea-sized lumps, if you could see, like that. So what you essentially end up doing is using one of the knives to cut the little piece of butter and mix it into the flour. You're going to do that as much as you can until, like I said, everything's about small lumps here. And a lot of it's pretty close. So what we'll do is get our cup of milk and get it in there and combine it together. So basically when you do all this, you make sure the butter is super, super cold. Same thing with your milk. So we just pour all that in there. We're just going to stir it together just to combine. Let me get a glove in here. It's nothing special, just swirl it around. You only want to work it just enough until it's just combined. You don't want to overwork it at all. Just enough to get it to stick together. Then we'll spoon out table-sized lumps into the casserole dish and we'll bake it in the oven. And that's it. Okay, it's time to spoon on the drop biscuit mixture. So very large, tablespoon sized here. And I'm just going to spoon that on. So make sure there's enough space between all of them so they can expand. But you want to cover most of the top. So nothing crazy there. And we're going to be baking this at 450 for about 30-40 minutes or so. Pretty much that's it. Alright, so I spooned everything on there. Just going to throw it in the oven for about 30-35 minutes. Just about make sure the top's nice and golden brownish. You can do a egg wash on top if you want. It doesn't really matter. If you just want to make it look fancier, you can just do that. You end up doing that at the 30-minute mark and just leave it in there for 5-10 minutes and you'll be done after that. Alright, see you in about 35 minutes. Alright, just pulled the turkey pot pie out of the oven. As you can see, nice cooked biscuit topping. Nice and done. So I'll bite into this and I'll be back.